This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of the meeting has been provided as required by law. Certain portions of it may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975 C127. Fire exits are located in the directions I am indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Notice to members of the governing body and borough staff. Any use of electronic devices during the meeting shall be used solely for the purpose of borough business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Connolly.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Ravina.
Here.
Councilwoman Valomo.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Andrew, please lead us in the opening prayer and pledge allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pledge allegiance. There are no communications for consideration this evening. There are no proclamations or presentations for this evening. Shocker. There are no meeting minutes for consideration this evening. May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody wishing to speak on agenda items only may come up and do so now. Agenda items only. I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't think we have any verbal reports. I don't know, Ken or Andrew, if you want to give any quick ones, or you're good to go. Next meeting?
Just real quick, Mayor. Taxes are due May 1st. Revised bills for those who received homestead rebates were mailed out. If you feel you were due one and did not get it, contact the office first to just make sure it wasn't lost in the mail. Otherwise, and then if you feel you were entitled to it and you have your confirmation number, they'll give you the number to call the state. We have nothing to do with the actual homestead rebate. It just applies to your tax bill. And sewer bills are being worked on. They will be going out Memorial Day weekend and will be due July 1st as always. That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Ken. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the reports of departments as submitted?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2679 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2679 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing. An ordinance amending Chapter 10, Section 4, Subsection 4.1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Recreation Fees Enumerated.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2679?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody would like to come up and speak on ordinance number 2679, please do so now. Okay. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2679?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2679?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? I am seeing none. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Valomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Is that a tough vote for you, Councilman Signorello?
I was still reading it. Making sure.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2680 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2680 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 19, Section 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Visual Obstructions at Intersections.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2680 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 5th, 2022?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, so there's a couple ordinances. I'm just going to ask you to give a little brief on each one. Some of these are probably more interesting to the council and public. Some of these are probably nothing burgers, for lack of a better term. But I think it's all part of, we have a new engineer in town trying to clean up some of our code. Maybe you just give like a 30-second spiel on each, or, you know,
Sure.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to just do one?
Just do one at a time, just to keep the discussion to each one.
So 2680, it says visual obstructions at intersections. That's just the name of the subsection of code. This particularly deals with conflicts of visual sight at corners predominantly. It also predominantly, or in addition to what it predominantly deals with, is property maintenance issues, particularly the removal of debris in front of a home. It strengthens the code from a property maintenance perspective, gives more tools to the borough to enforce keeping our neighborhoods tidy and attractive for our residents, and hopefully will fill in some of the gaps and loopholes that we've been dealing with over the course of the last decade.
Cool. Yeah, and we'll entertain discussion obviously here. I think Andrew can answer any of these questions at a high level. I would encourage any council with more detailed questions to take up our engineer on his hours, because a lot of these proposals are directly from him, so.
Mayor, he'll also be here, the engineer
Next
will
meeting.
be here at the next meeting, and he knows that he'll be here for the duration to answer questions from the public and the governing body.
Great. Okay. I'm seeing no additional discussion. Andrew, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Balongo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2681 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2681 is an ordinance amending Chapter 23, Section 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Standards for the Construction and Repair of Sidewalks.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2681 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 5th, 2022?
So move. Second.
Andrew, do you mind doing the same, and then I'll entertain discussion?
So this, again, just clarifies some inconsistencies within the code, particularly the depth of the sidewalk, clarifying that it's not 7 inches in some places and 6 inches in other places. It also puts explicit language in where if the borough has to repair a sidewalk that's adjacent to a home, given the fact that that is the homeowner's responsibility, once we go through the notification process, we can assess it as a lien on the property.
Got it. Okay. Any discussion? Andrew, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Balongo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Please read ordinance number 2682 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2682 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 23, Section 3 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Construction Standards for Driveways.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2682 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 5th, 2022?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, same.
This one is, they're very minor amendments to this section, really typographical in nature, and just clarifying that any plans would be approved by the Department of Code Enforcement, and it institutes some additional language for welded wire mesh in sidewalks for a lot of what that matters to the governing body. The engineer can answer that at the next meeting.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Andrew, have we hit the one where we changed ordinance number 900 yet?
No.
Or are we?
No,
okay.
that's the last one.
That's coming up? All right, good. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina? Yes. Councilwoman Balongo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
2683, sir?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2683 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 26, Section 1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Protection of Trees.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2683 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 5th, 2022?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, just hit us with it.
So this is kind of much of the same. It makes it explicitly states that the property owner, if they have an issue with one of the borough trees in front of their home, to report it to the Department of Public Works so that they can address it. Just looking through here again. It also just sets forth the removal responsibilities of the borough in the event that there is an issue.
Cool. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Balongo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay, 2684.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2684 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 27, Article 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Obstructions and Breaks. This is the ordinance that amends a very old ordinance.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2684 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 5th, 2022?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? I'm going to try, because Andrew explained this one to me earlier today, to see if I remember. So this one's a little bit more on the not controversial side, but break in terms of what we've done before. So we are one of the towns that owns our own sewer system, and as such, with 100-year-old systems, things break. It's norm in the state of New Jersey for the borough to sort of and their responsibility at the main sewer lines on the actual street. We obviously have been trying to be helpful as possible in fixing some of the lines, connections from the house to the street. This sort of sets the delineation of where our responsibility ends and where the homeowner responsibility begins. Is that a fair summary?
That's correct.
Okay.
The previous code, if I could, Mayor, the existing code defines where the responsibility of the homeowner versus the responsibility of the borough as 2 feet from the top of the riser. The question is, where is the riser? And that varies depending on the property. And then ultimately, when the borough is called out to a project, the borough is responsible pretty much across the board to maintain, keep, and construct and deconstruct and improve the main line. But it's the sewer laterals that are often the issue. Sometimes they're in the middle of a lawn, sometimes they're in the middle of a street. Either way, that service line is for that adjacent property. This ordinance would establish that the borough is responsible for exactly what it's always been responsible for, which is the main line of the sewer system. Any lateral responsibility would be the homeowner's responsibility.
I just received the email today about the Fayette
We
Avenue.
get them all the time. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. But I mean, I think the other thing that's broader issue is, I don't know where we're going to go with this. It would ultimately go to a referendum, is whether or not there's interest in buying our sewer system too, which adds another kind of kink to all this. But that would be, if we do it this year, it'd be put to a referendum and a public vote. So, but that's another discussion for another day. Any further questions, Andrew, or for Andrew?
Now, the chair, this is a good idea because we seem like we have an uptick.
It's a nightmare right now. Yeah, it's a total nightmare right now. And it's gray, and Paul tries to do the best he can in the gray, but this defines where his responsibility ends. Okay. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Urbina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Valomo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Andrew, please read all resolutions on the consent agenda by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 12522 is accepting the resignation of Michael Dury from the Roselle Park Rails to Trails Advisory Committee. Resolution 126 is approving a collective bargaining agreement between the Borough of Roselle Park and the Roselle Park Department of Public Works Group for the period January 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2024. Resolution 12722 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a reduction and/or refund on one sewer utility bill at 183 East Clay Avenue, Block 807, Lot 17 of the municipal tax map in the amount of $265 due to a water utility discrepancy. Resolution 12822 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a reduction and/or refund on 224 Chestnut Street, Block 605, Lot 16 of the municipal tax map in the amount of $4,060 as ordered by the tax court of the state of New Jersey. Resolution 12922 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a reduction and/or refund on 60 East Westfield Avenue, Block 912, Lot 9 of the municipal tax map in the amount of $7,983.30 as ordered by the tax court of the state of New Jersey. And Resolution 13022 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a $500 credit for a senior citizen tax deduction for years 2021 and 2022 on 154 Union Road, Block 911, Lot 17 of the municipal tax map.
Okay. Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda?
No.
Okay. I'll remove one. 12622. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 126-22?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? I just want to commend the administration's hard work on trying to finally get to a resolution. Andrew's been dogged with this. It's been times when it seems like we haven't, weren't going to come to an agreement and just kick it to arbitration. But I think everybody's been really positive. I think we don't have a perfect collective bargaining here, but you know, that's the nature of bargaining. Both parties usually feel like they wanted something more. So, you know, I'm grateful that the Department of Public Works seems pretty amenable to this, and hopefully they'll sign soon because I think there's a lot of benefits in it for both the borough and for the Department of Public Works. So, good job all around. Especially you, Ken. especially you. Unless there's any other discussion, Andrew can call the roll.
Councilman Petrowski?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilman Belomo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is approved.
Okay, reports of Borough Council Committees. Why don't we start tonight with Councilman Rabina?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, let's see. Good evening, Mayor, colleagues, and good evening, Roselle Park. First off, April 9th, we had the community cleanup. I'd like to thank all the school groups, PTAs, PTOs, scouts, clubs, and organizations that helped out with the cleanup. While the weather wasn't that cooperative, over 150 students and community members came out to help. Overall, over 50 bags were collected from 14 locations around the borough. It was disheartening seeing the amount of garbage, plastic bottles, cans that we pulled out of our parks, paths, and open spaces. At 40 pounds per bag, that means 1 ton of misplaced rubbish was collected in just a few hours. So please, I ask and encourage residents, parents, business owners, and families to properly dispose of your trash. The culvert behind Lamonaco Perry Park, for example, we pulled 2 industrial-sized garbage bags alone filled with bottles and debris. We live here, we're neighbors, and we need to continue looking out for each other, for our community. If you have children and they're out and about in town or using our parks, please encourage them to recycle their bottles and throw trash out in any of the numerous receptacles the borough maintains. And while I'm talking about trash, I want to bring up graffiti. Over the last few months, the last couple months, graffiti has been appearing throughout the borough and in areas our kids play. Our DPW has done a great job cleaning up and the police department following up with those responsible in our area. There was a post on social media recently that talked about respecting where you live, work, and play. Parents, I implore you to check in and check up on your children. Just a little wellness check. If you notice markers or harmful substances in their backpack or in their possession, if they appear distant, depressed, or display aggressive behavior, if they seem mentally or physically unwell, talk to them, help them, and know that resources are available. I've worked in healthcare for over 20 years. If you need information or resources, reach out to me, and I'll do my best to help make the connection. If you're going through something, we're all going through something. We all need to help each other out. On April 18th, we had the Municipal Land Use Board meeting. At the meeting, a preliminary and final site plan approval was given to demolish and rebuild the County Educators Federal Credit Union. The current building has served the needs of the Roselle Park community for over 80 years, and the new structure will provide a modern space with additional amenities and parking. Next meeting will be on Monday, May 16th at 7 p.m. and we project two applications will be heard. One for an interior renovation of 117 West Colfax, also known as Roselle Park Liquors and Food, and the second being a hearing and preliminary and final major subdivision for 222 Sherman Avenue to construct a one-family home. Regarding infrastructure and transportation, Valley Road was finally paved last week. While it was originally supposed to be new curbing and asphalt, I'd like to thank Andrew, Mayor Signorello, and Chief McCaffrey for working with me on the additional improvements, including the new sidewalk from West Webster to West Lincoln, the 2 speed radar signs, the new crosswalks, striping, and speed humps that'll be completed on Saturday, April 30th. I also would like to thank Superintendent Biamonte, Foreman Ken Longo, Paul DeVito on the backhoe, and everyone on the DPW team for their time and effort cleaning up the overgrowth, dead wood, and debris on Valley, which will now provide additional open space for future use and increases safety for homeowners and renters in the immediate area. Also keep in mind, the Roselle Park Police Department is participating in the You Drive, You Text, You Pay campaign this month, so they'll be on the lookout for distracted drivers. So heads up, literally, put the phone down, as driver inattention is the leading cause of fatal crashes in New Jersey. Now on to education, special needs, and inclusivity. Note if your child has an IEP, different abilities, or special needs, this Saturday, April 23rd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., the RPSD, in collaboration with the Department of Recreation, will present SPRING, which stands for Supportive Programs and Recreation for Inclusive Needs Group. There will be crafting with cops, gym, activities to unwind and decompress, arcades, air hockey, video gaming, and snacks. Also happening this Saturday is the Meet the Borough event from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Casano Center. So if you're a new resident, stop by to learn more about resources and services within our community, to our newly renovated library and youth center. We'd love to meet you and welcome you to our borough. Coming up now in May, on Saturday the 4th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., we will be hosting a bike clinic and helmet giveaway at Michael Mori Gazebo Park on Chestnut. We'll have giveaways for the kids and young adults. If you need a helmet, please stop by. New Jersey Bike and Walk Coalition, Safe Kids Union County, Children's Specialized Hospital, Union County Department of Youth Services, Bob Masucci of Bob's Bicycle Service, and the Roselle Park Police Department's Community-Oriented Policing Unit will be there providing educational materials, information, safety checks, and giveaways. And I'd like to thank all the residents who have reached out to me with their concerns and for their opportunity to help. I can be reached at 862-236-0019. Email is jrabina@rosellepark.net. Mayor, that concludes my report.
It's good. 2 minutes left. That was tight. Councilman Signorello, and if any council people mention my car chargers, you are not getting a Christmas gift from Mayor Signorello. Nobody, that's my baby, nobody talks about them. Councilman Signorello.
Brian
Includes
used
you. Includes you.
So I attended the land use board meeting the other day, and there was a concern by a lot of residents in the Sherman area, Sherman Avenue, and I think they got a good resolve. Yesterday, myself, Andrew, and Rich Blucho from the construction department met with Superintendent Garrido from the school board and President Harms on an uptick on concerns of some illegal two families, kids moving into other homes, numerous kids in one home or single family home, on and on. There's a lot of concerns, and we had a productive meeting yesterday on trying to work together between the BOE and the mayor and council, and I'm proud to be, I think we'll have some success with this, and we'll give it a shot. So other than that, that's the end of my report, and you can talk about your Charger cars. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Councilman Petrosky, they weren't on your list, were they? They weren't on your list, the Chargers? Okay, all right, good.
Okay, April 12th, I attended the senior brunch. I'd like to thank Roseanne Lyons for helping get the entertainment. It was well attended. And I want to thank Ruben. It was very well attended. I want to thank Sunrise Diner for donating the food or giving us a discount. On the 13th, I had the recreation meeting. Basically, wrestling and basketball are done. They have the after season parties, and it was a good turnout. Today I attended the joint sewer meeting. We voted to upgrade and raise because we needed to raise the price for aluminum, and because of COVID, the prices went up. The surplus will be voted on next meeting, and from what I was told, the check will be mailed out the day after the meeting, which is May 20th. Okay. Okay. So it was a quick meeting, 19 minutes, and we were done. I want, if you need to get a hold of me, jpetrosky at rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821. That's my report.
Joe, we're already over 19 minutes. I can't beat that record. We're 23.
19 minutes, it was a quick one.
That's tight. Councilman Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. First, I would like to inform the residents what meetings I attended within the past couple of weeks. On April 9th, I attended the American Legion Post-60 General Election meeting in accordance with our bylaws. Sorry I could not make any other venues during that day, but unfortunately, I had to facilitate that process for the veterans. On April 12th, my youngest son and I attended a well-organized senior brunch along with council members Jody Belomo and Joe Petrowski. What can I say? The food, entertainment, and company was great. Well done, Director Shaw. Next, on April 13th, 2022, I attended the Roselle Park Diversity and Inclusion Open Public Meeting. I just wanted to thank all residents who attended and shared their concerns on behalf of the Diversity and Inclusion Committee. We wanted to say as a whole that we appreciate and value our community's input. Now moving along to community concerns. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm a bit bewildered and concerned with motivations stemming from a long history of political partisanship and biases within this community that is created to cause confusion rather than positive solutions. This borough, at a minimal to no cost, added 2 new aesthetically pleasing charging
Well, great.
stations within the borough municipal parking lot. No, Mayor, this is more beyond the charging.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
I'm
get into
always
the charging.
using. I'm always using.
No, because this is, you'll see right here, this is the
I
paragraph.
appreciate it.
Imagine to my surprise when I see people more concerned with engaging in partisan defamation over a charging port being placed in one of the 5 handicap locations that will better assist people with special needs or their caretakers that are often forgotten about that may have access to electrical vehicles as our community and nation moves towards a more eco-friendly community. We have to consider those with ADA concerns, don't you think? I'll leave this at it, as it's okay to agree to disagree, but we really need to move towards a society where reactions are based on individuals' content of character rather than party affiliation. Special needs people. It's not about the charging. It's not about anything else. And quite frankly, I'm a little ashamed. Just food for thought. The last concern that I would like to address within my report is the marijuana referendum that was voted upon during the November 3rd, 2020 election ballot. That particular public question was the constitutional amendment to legalize marijuana, which passed 67.08% of the population that decided to vote during that particular election. With that said, the reason for me highlighting the constitutional amendment is significantly important when understanding the controversial memo that the acting Attorney General, Matt Plackins, placed regarding off-duty officers being able to consume marijuana while being off-duty. First and foremost, I would like to applaud the Attorney General for not allowing biases to influence what has been created into constitutional law. Now, constitutional rights, for clarity, are protections and liberties guaranteed to the people. Therefore, once we create a referendum for we the people, to decide establishing amendments as officials who swear an oath to support the Constitution and all applicable laws, whether we agree or disagree, it is our constitutional obligation to honor and serve the people. With that being said, I want to publicly announce my affirmation to create a resolution to support the Attorney General's memo, just as long as we regulate it the same way that we regulate alcohol. And just for the record, I hope that it is obvious that no one, if for any reason, consider or think someone while on duty being impaired is just, that should go without saying. That is not the argument. The argument is constitutional law. So with that being said, whether we agree or disagree, I wanted to pitch and propose to my colleagues eventually if we can have a discussion on creating a resolution to actually support that. With that being said, I digress. Mayor, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Come on, bro.
But I had to touch it more so for the people with disability needs.
I appreciate it.
That was my real underlying concern.
I appreciate it.
I'm sorry about touching
Stealing my
it.
thunder. You taking the cooler pictures of it at night.
I'm sorry. This is your baby, and I give you kudos.
You're taking my baby.
I actually give you kudos. I actually give you kudos, and I feel sorry about
it's all
your
good.
car. Rest in peace. Tesla. On that note, please remember your voice matters. And as First Ward Council, I will always place the concerns of the residents within Roselle Park first. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at gjohnson@rosellepark.net, or you can call me at 908-303-1519. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
That's good.
And again, my apologies.
That's good.
It was more for the people with special needs.
No, I understand. And I know we talked shortly about this afternoon. I'm sorry we couldn't get on the agenda, but me personally, I'm supportive of it. I think we can put a reso on for the next one. I know it's near and dear to your heart. So.
Thank you.
Yep. Councilman Conley.
Actually, I don't have a little report, but I agree with Greg there. But I know as far as the federal level with the veterans, the DAV is also taking this on at the federal level, and bringing on the why are we distributing all these drugs that these veterans are getting addicted to, it's such, it's ridiculous. And I think this might be something that may be needed to also be discussed, and thank you, Greg, for bringing that up. I know we had a heated conversation, but also I think this is something that's going to be beneficial with all these opioids that people are dying from. And then when they can't get them from their physicians, they're taking heroin or whatever the case may be. And this will be an ongoing thing, and it's hard to control. I've been there. I've done it. When I came out of the service, I got addicted. They were giving me 80 milligrams of Oxycontin. And it's hard to get off of that stuff. And I think this is an alternate route. Yes, there may be things that need to be talked about, like as far as alcohol, but I think the law enforcement is getting a bind on this. So anyway, that's that with that. If you need to contact me, you can email me at mconnelly@rosellepark.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Baloma?
Car charges are in my ward.
Oh, got him.
Don't do it. It's already ruined. It's already ruined.
It's over.
My moment's already been crushed. Do what you gotta do. Stick the knife
All I
in.
have to say about them is that they look nice, man.
They do.
Thank
At
you.
night they do.
Thank you.
Okay, so I attended the senior brunch on Tuesday, April 12th. It was well attended and put together event. Most of the seniors I interacted with truly enjoyed the Frank Sinatra singer, and there was lots of laughter with the comedian. Sunrise Diner catered the event, and I had the opportunity to talk with the attendees about the health iPad, the senior parking permits, Operation Blue Angel, and of course, bingo. I would like to thank Group and Shaw and all the volunteers that make these events possible. The New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission will be coming to Roselle Park. It will be located at the Michael Morey Gazebo Park on East Grant Avenue from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dates will be made available for the months of May, June, July, August, September, October, and November. The agency on wheels offers driver's licenses and real ID license plates, non-driver identification cards, placards, registrations, and examination permits. There are limited appointments available for June and July, so please check the Borough of Roselle Park Facebook page for more information or contact the Casano Community Center at 908-245-0666.
Oh my goodness.
Not the greatest number. I know.
Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library would like to remind everyone, if you need an important document notarized, you can meet Miss Maria on Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. by appointment. And on April 20th, which was last night, I attended the library board meeting. Mr. Alex Dion was in attendance for his first meeting as the library director. This month there were 864 children in attendance at story time and all programs in our library. Summer programs at the library will be announced soon. On April 6th, I attended the Environmental Commission Committee meeting at the Casano Center. There are 5 beds available still of 29 in the community garden. First come, first serve, so if you're interested, don't hesitate. It's a fun way to meet your neighbors and get involved with the community. The committee is seeking volunteers for the Shade Tree Subcommittee, the Green Team, and the Community Garden. On Saturday, April 23rd, there will be a cleanup day at the Community Garden from 9 a.m. to noon. If you'd like to get involved or to contact the committee to reserve your garden bed, you can go to the committee's Facebook page, Roselle Park Environmental Commission. In my last report, I shared about working with the Department of Public Works Superintendent Paul Biamonte, that's a mouthful, and our town administrator, Andrew Casillas, to find a way to prudently purchase planters, Peter Piper, right, and flowers for downtown. On Tuesday, April 19th, Paul Biamonte, Ken Longo, and I met at Home Depot, followed by a trip to Dreyer's Farms. However, due to lack of supply and quality, we did not purchase. On Wednesday, April 20th, we met at the greenhouse in White House that I had visited on April 6th and prudently purchased the flowers and 7 new planters. I was in contact with Anthony Trezza for the Municipal Alliance. Mr. Trezza reported 5th grade lead, which is law enforcement against drugs, is the current program running. The officers are doing a great job and are almost complete with this year's curriculum. Mr. Trezza will be attending a county meeting next week and will schedule a committee meeting for the middle of May. The Small Business Alliance Network of Roselle Park. As a small business owner, I understand how important it is to work with other small businesses in our community. Therefore, every 4th Tuesday of the month, we will be having a meeting from 7 to 8 p.m. for owners of businesses in Roselle Park to work together, support each other, and open a line of communication from the businesses to the town. Every month, the meeting will be hosted by a business in our community. This month's meeting will be hosted at La Casa de Martino, located at 301 West Clay Avenue, on this Tuesday, the 26th of April. And here goes the car chargers.
Oh. Save the best for last.
I would like to say congratulations to my daughter Jacqueline for the purchase of her new house, and for my daughter Jocelyn on her engagement and her graduation in nursing school. It takes a village to raise your children, and I'm so grateful that Roselle Park is that village my kids grew up in. If you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at jbalomo@rosellepark.net or call me at 908-514-5027, and thank you for allowing me to serve.
That was good, Joey.
Thanks, Councilwoman.
And that was a nice.
It's a good big guy. I don't have a long report tonight. Everybody always says all the cool stuff before I get a chance to, but I do want to say I went to go test out my babies, the new car chargers. I still have a car that I can plug in. It's a plug-in hybrid, although it is not the Tesla anymore. But it was just a really cool moment. They're actually not activated yet. So just to get everybody familiar with it, 3 years ago, we won a grant to get electric car chargers. The project was going nowhere. We partnered up with Volta, which has done electric car chargers in Westfield, I think is the only other place in the area. And they loved the location. Volta, we kind of waited to make the project happen to make sure that we weren't digging into new asphalt. So we said we're going to time it with the repaving of the municipal lot, which also looks really good, I'm happy to report. The economics, I'm oversimplifying a touch, but it's basically free to us. And yeah, it is free to us. And then the ongoing, like, it's free to the customer too, because those big kiosks that they have are going to be revenue generating. They're going to be ads. So one thing to highlight to the small business group, if you want to, is eventually they'll be able to put ads on that. And then we get a certain period of time. How many hours a month or something like that?
It goes by, it's a percentage of it's advertising credit, so it's a percentage of the total advertising time.
Got it. So we can put up like our community calendar and stuff like that, recycling calendar, which is also nice. And it just feels like a nice win-win. But I think the really like heartwarming experience for me was today, testing it out for the first time, and just people coming around to like ask, what is this? That's cool. I haven't seen this before. That's why we do this, is to, give some pop to the downtown and give people a reason to stop and slow down and check out our town. And I think it's already having that effect, so I'm very proud of that so far. So good job, Volta. Good job, Andrew, getting it done. Finally, man. You didn't even get it done. I had to yell to get it done.
Mayor, good job
This was
spearheading that.
literally, if I could, Mayor. You were sworn in 2019. This was like the third email I got. And just to clarify how quickly government moves.
It's year 4.
It's year 4 of your term, and we're done.
Feels good. Feels like a big win. All right, we're having a short meeting. We're gonna keep it short. May I have a motion to open the public portion? If you have any questions, mayorsig@rosellepark.net. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody wishing to come up and speak may do so now on any subject matter. Oh yeah, I think you're getting beat though. Oh, okay, well whatever. Yeah. If you want to first, yeah, I was gonna say ladies first, but
Yeah, you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
you can go to either mic.
I think, is that? Okay. Okay, let me just start off 521 Amsterdam Avenue. Ladies, gentlemen, you gotta be good to the ladies now, type of routine, which I am, type of bit.
I want to give you a little background on myself.
Oh, name, sir. Yeah.
Pardon?
Name for the record.
First name and last name, sir.
First name is Philip, the last name Vellucci. You might not know it, like I said, but your grandparents will definitely know it, okay? Type of routine. Before I get into the crux of my matter,
Yeah.
I want to tell you a little bit about my background. I got 7 years of college, I'm a CPA, and I got a master's degree, and I've also taught. In fact, my wife taught in Roselle Park Middle School. She taught math type of routine, and I go there occasionally and I teach substitute this, that, and the other. But that's beside the point. Years ago, I was asked, I was on the planning board. I enjoyed it for 8 years. The only thing is, something came up, that gentleman happened to say the wrong thing to the wrong guy, and we got hit for a $43,000 fine. And ever since that time, I said, forget about it, and I dropped out. Now, there was a lady that was the mayor of the town, asked me to run for council, and then eventually for mayor type of routine. Okay, fine. I didn't want to go into that, okay? My background is 30 years with the Department of Defense. I was the chief negotiator for Lockheed in the Navy, which we dealt in billions of dollars, not millions of billions of dollars. But getting into the crux of everything. I went along, everything was fine. I've had no more than 12 siblings go through the system, all through, whatever type of bit.
Yeah.
I get this.
Did you just get that? That was last year.
I got this, but this is not the best of it, sir.
Okay, got it.
I got this, and I'm wondering to myself, having an accounting background, what the hell's happening?
Yes.
Now, when you go into this, was there a committee that sat down before anything was signed off and saying, where is this money going? Where is it going to be? That's number one. Number two, what about when these people come in? Now you're going to have a lot of kids. You're going to have a lot of overhead type of thing, okay? Where are they going to be? We got small schools. Do we hire more teachers, build more schools, or what do we do? Was this all taken into consideration? Like I said, when I negotiated this, all these things had to be brought to fore. I said, okay, big question, I'll throw it out. Is this a two-party system in Roselle Park? Yes or no?
Yes?
I don't hear anything.
Yes.
Two-party.
Yes.
Hey, you say yes. It seems like I got a letter addressed to me personally.
Yes.
Okay? Saying if I want to run for anything, this, that, or the other,
Yeah.
please see this person. Okay? I get back to this person and I get back to whatever party I want to belong to.
Mm-hmm.
They never get back to me. Why? Is it not there? Is it just a one-party system or what? What's happening? Okay. This I'd like to know. Being in the town for 100 years and 3 months, okay, which Dad just about started the town type of routine, I would like to know. And I'm throwing it out.
Okay, so just to let you know, how much time does he have left? Okay, 45 seconds. So do you want to yield the rest of your time to my response, or is there anything
I
else you
can't
want?
hear because
Yeah, would you like to yield the rest of your time so I can respond? You have 45 seconds left
I
to
would
say anything
like
else.
to know, being of an accounting background and all this, I'd like to know where everything is going.
Okay.
And has there been a committee set up before it was signed,
Oh, yeah,
where
sure.
everything was going?
Yeah.
Be my guest.
Okay. So there's a couple things. I'm going to start from the back. So the letter you're referring to is, I think that was from former Mayor Joe DiOrio. That one. Which one do you want to talk about first? Just hold it up. So the letter is from former Mayor Joe DiOrio. I think my little brother got one.
It was
So
only about 3 weeks, let's say.
yeah, so I know it vaguely, but it's basically encouraging people to run for office. I think it was directed to all Republicans.
Beside the point.
Yeah. So, but I can't speak to that. So I'm a Democrat. I'm the Democrat Party chair here. So I can't speak to what the Republican leadership's
I
doing.
agree with what you're
Yeah.
saying, but like
But-
I said, I don't get any input when I
So-
go out and I
So just
Okay.
unfortunately, so you're
I text,
So you're.
I call,
You-
I get nothing. You know?
I'll call Joe DiOrio for
What? You know what I mean? I'm not somebody just sitting here.
you. I'll call Joe DiOrio.
I've
for
got
you.
background, sweetheart.
Mayor, you should
know,
call
I
that's
got
the
you.
whole
I'll
deal.
get a response.
You know what I mean?
So I will do that. I will.
And I know the gentleman because he graduated the same school I did.
I will call Joe DiOrio and make sure he gets back to you. And if you want to run for mayor, I encourage you to. The mayorship's up this year. The other thing I want to mention, so just leading to a lot of the development that's been going on in town, there has been studies that have gone into every development that we've done. So some of them predate me. I know coincidentally a lot of the projects are lining up that I'm in office right now. Look, if you're mayor at that time, if the sun shines, you sometimes get credit for it. If it rains, you definitely get yelled at for it. So I'm used to it at this point. But of the three main projects that are going on, so you have Romorowski, that's over towards the Cranford side. That project was done, Andrew was on council, give me a year, when was that? Oh, you weren't on council.
Decade.
2009?
2009.
2009, that project was approved, and there was a study, I assume, at that point. There was also a lawsuit attached to it.
Yes, it was.
Yep, exactly.
Yes, I was.
So our hands were tied a little bit there. The other project, the Meridia one, was approved and signed before I became mayor. I think it's personally too big, but that's
Before your time.
exactly right. The one that I do take full responsibility for is the one that's being built in the center of town right now. And I'll be honest with you, we did our studies. We did traffic impact studies. We did studies for what's going to impact the schools. As a mayor, as somebody who grew up in this town, I've seen that area sit empty for 12 years. And I've seen businesses walk away, and I've seen people drive thousands of times over to have a first impression of Roselle Park. And their first impression of Roselle Park was a rundown, at times purple car dealership. And I couldn't stand for that anymore. So we had somebody who was willing to invest in town, somebody bring more restaurant space into town, somebody bring more life into the center of downtown, somebody bring more customers in the center of downtown. And I had to go and support it rather than let it sit there. I do share your concerns with the schools. As a matter of fact, I look forward to going to the Board of Ed next week. I think we have a different problem with the school system. You've been here for 100 years.
I've been here 3 months.
So
I've
you-
been through the
so
school
you know-
system.
so-
My wife was in the school system, so I know
Yeah, I know,
exactly
you
what
can't
it
say
is,
that.
okay?
Yeah. So the one thing I would say is Robert Gordon was the first concrete poured building in America. You cannot get adequate air conditioning in there. You cannot get adequate Wi-Fi in there. You can't make adequate upgrades. We have antiquated schools that I think we are going to eventually need to look at either rehabbing or replacing at some point. But it's certainly not at this point from what we've seen from an influx of students. Over the last 5 years, again, without all the developments being done, enrollment has been, we talked about this last meeting, has been trending flat or down. As a matter of fact, as somebody who's been here for a long time, it's actually something that at the time Councilman DiOrio pointed out. We're not even at, as a borough, the highest population we've been in the last 30 years. So in 1985, we topped out at our highest population at about 15,000 people. I guess kids were just having more.
Went from 12 to 15?
So yeah, you can't talk. Yeah. But we went, so it was 15,000 back then, we dipped to about 13,000 now, and I think we're back to about 14,000. So we've seen some ebbs and flows, but I do agree. I would just argue, sir, we've done a lot to modernize Roselle Park, and I think, to your point, there is planning and ideas that have gone behind this, and some of that needs to carry over to the board for sure. So I've got to cut you off. We can talk more afterwards, but I promise you I'm going to make that phone call. And I promise you I'm going to get DiOrio to call you back.
Well, is that...
We'll talk after the meeting. Is that okay? We're gonna have somebody else come up. Okay?
As that young lady said, in, what's her name, Jan Penske, whatever it is, let's go around. This is what we're going to do, go around. Okay.
We'll talk afterwards. I'll stick around after the meeting. We'll talk. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. All right.
But that's the main thing I was interested. Was there ever...
Your time is
Yeah.
up.
Sorry. Do you want to come up?
Your time is up for public
Okay.
comment. Your
One
public
thing I think we
Sir.
really overlooked in this
Sir,
town...
you really can't go on.
You're done. The
Sir.
time limit is up.
You're only allowed to, sir, you're only allowed to talk for 7 minutes.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I just
Oh, excuse me,
wanted to
4
make a little
minutes.
bit-
So, but the mayor will talk to you offline,
Just
sir.
one little...
No, you can't say anymore, sorry.
You could come back next council meeting.
I'm sorry, but I'll stick around for
I
after the
didn't
meeting.
know.
Yeah.
Whatever you
No
want.
worries. No worries. It's all good.
Carry on.
Just as a heads up, 4 minutes. Name and address, please.
Jennifer George. I'm in the First Ward Council, live on Avon Street, and also a small business owner here in town, just Jubilant.
Yep.
So what I wanted to do today was come in here and find out, first of all, being a small business owner, I'm excited about the growth. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm excited for what the potential may do to the downtown and for the small business owners in town.
Yep.
But what I was wondering, as a small business owner in town, what is the borough's plan to incorporate the small businesses into, and helping the small businesses be in town, attract more businesses to town, because there is a lot of retail space
Yep.
that is down in the bottom. You know, are the plans to hopefully have all those spots filled? And what does it look like? You know, what kind of stores are gonna be allowed, restaurants, that sort of thing, so we have a variety. We don't need another nail salon, we don't need another hair salon.
Yep.
And just making our town more desirable, because yeah, you don't want people to blow by.
Yeah.
We want people to stop, we want people to shop in Roselle Park. I think, you know, trying to get the planners out there on Chestnut to have the friendly environment, like, I know people don't want to compare us to Cranford, or we don't want to be a Cranford, but, you know, it's downtown charm.
Yep.
And I know down there they have a business sector that really, you know, takes pride in their small businesses.
Yep.
And they do different events, such as they just did this simple little thing of the Peeps. And people went around to see the different things that had been made.
Yep.
And, you know, I think, you know, those are things we need to look at as a borough, like how can we incorporate small businesses to get more foot traffic and make people aware of the services that we offer in town.
Yeah, so I think, and I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, do you have any other?
Jen speaking?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah,
We can always
that's
talk
the
more
point
after, but
we're
I
trying
want
to bring
to
across. We understand, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm good. I just
Yeah.
want to know, like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do to help the small businesses?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to be as honest with you as possible, right? Because I hate it when people BS me, and I'm not going to BS you. I think that there's been a very long time where the small business community in Roselle Park hasn't stepped up, right? And that is not to say you're very new here, so I'm going to exclude current, and even Jody isn't a small business owner. She does a fantastic job keeping up her. But I think we could both admit, right, that there's been other places here. You've known the long history. Not everybody keeps their storefront as beautiful as you do, right? And I think there's been times where the borough's taken a more active role in trying to be more like Cranford, have like a downtown corporation like Westfield has. We had a bid, people hated it, they hated doing the fees, and also it was run incredibly poorly, do not get me wrong. Our downtown, I've always contested, needs to crawl before we walk, before we run, right? And I think the large part of that, although none of these answers here are like wowzers, it's gonna increase foot traffic immediately, all lead to a more investable and inhabitable T section, as we call it, right? So phase one, in my mind, was really repaving Westfield Avenue, right? And getting project going across the street, because no matter what anybody says, nobody wants to invest across from Blight. It's embarrassing, right? So I think even the fact that nothing's built there and 325 units aren't there yet, which is going to be 600 customers for anybody, I think seeing the momentum is fantastic, right? So I think that's really like phase 0.05 or like 1. Phase 2 is structurally renovating that downtown area, right? So Chestnut Street got done. We're going to redo the sidewalks, which again doesn't sound like, whoa, blow your mind, but it does. Like the sidewalks are gross now, right? And having that redone, like the planters, is a huge benefit. I'm a big fan of making structural change to help breed investment versus like onesie twosie, like I don't want to call them hokey, but we've done these song and dances in the hopes that it would revitalize town. It hasn't happened, right? And I give credit to, so I love my mother. She runs the farmer's market, right? But, you know, I think there was a thought that like, oh, it's going to bring foot traffic to the downtown. It's been there forever. It hasn't really done that. These events don't bring, things downtown. Our arts festival, although it's once a year, right? I can even remember, and I thought this was a cool idea, we've had the bank over by you empty for a while. And I actually thought the arts committee had a good idea at the time we did like an art showing there to show off the space to kind of like get potential investors interested in it. It's still been empty since then, 3 years later. I fundamentally think that there's no easy answer to this. I do commend Councilman Johnson for some of the work that he's done. Part of the thing that we're going to get better about is getting visibility to you guys via social media and via the website, right? Like having your presence there. But I think that there's some groundwork that still needs to be done in terms of, you know, I'm forgetting, we didn't even have working meters downtown, right?
Still don't.
Do you, so right, right. But my point is the municipal lots, you could have broken your ankle just going from one end to the other. So these things, these little visual cues that happen in the background foster an area where people will invest. And you're doing it yourself, right? I mean, I know it's not there yet, but you're taking a bet, right? And saying, I believe in the future of this. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to cut you off, but yeah, that's okay. Go like this. No, but I think there is no silver bullet here, and I'd be BSing everybody to watching, everybody in the office to say that, you know, Roselle Park's downtown is going to change overnight. But what we have seen is the roads look a lot better, the parking lot looks a lot better, the sidewalks are going to look a lot better. I'm thankful that Councilwoman Belomo is going to get some nice plants there, because I don't know what kind of plants look good there. Right, but I think that's phase 2. Phase 3, once we start to have kind of that groundwork done, that's when I want to start explore having things that are, I think, more cohesive to a downtown. Like maybe we put together an awning program, right, where all the awnings look the same and together, and we can come up with some money for that. You know, maybe we come up with having, I don't want to say it, but like, you know, a small business support network that's borough funded, right? Again, like this is a pro bono one right now. But I can tell you with assurance that we've had that in the past, and some of the structural issues we have in Roselle Park have caused that to fail, right? Like, and let me tell you the real tragedy of Roselle Park, and I'll end my tirade right now, but I think it's really important for people to understand this. For anybody who's still paying attention, and now I'm making this a long meeting, oh my God. Now I'm making this a long meeting, but the fundamental sin of Roselle Park's downtown is, at some point, somebody turned Westfield Ave from a 1-lane street into a 2-lane highway, right? And I don't think people can underestimate just how bad that is for a downtown. When it comes to people speeding down your street 45 miles an hour versus having to crawl down and having to explore the nooks and crannies, it is so detrimental to a downtown, and we need to adapt to that, and we never did, and we're going to continue to do so. So I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to come to the next meeting so we can talk more about this. I'm going to let Councilwoman Belomo talk. But there's no easy answer here. Yes?
Can I just say one thing? Because Saturday, we were under a misconception that the meet for the new neighbors
Yeah.
was also going to include the businesses. So is there something that maybe we could do where the new residents, maybe on a later date, will meet the businesses, you know, like, and allow us to show the services that are in the downtown area, because we thought it was gonna be like an all-inclusive, meeting where because the businesses were invited, but it's more so that they could see the borough services.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
So something to that
Yeah.
effect.
But I would also say, and this is also gonna be a little bit, not on the harsher end, but on the realistic end. For your business to succeed, you need more than just Roselle Park. You know, and it's great to have the you know what I'm saying? Like, no, yeah, yeah. No, we'll talk afterwards. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
but
this way.
yeah,
Come
but
at it from this
no,
way.
but it's a good
I like
start.
the charades.
I like the body language, but it's a good start. But look, I'm committing. I'm going to come to a meeting. We're going to talk more about this. But I like your idea. I think it's something we should host. As long as you think the businesses are amenable, and as long as you're giving away free haircuts, because you know my hair grows like a weed.
Nice.
All right. We'll catch up more afterwards?
Yes.
We can't talk now. Okay. Anybody else?
Zero on the side.
Tirade from the mayor.
Can I just add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just on Councilman Belomo's point. So I had a conversation with Director Shaw today. I know that him and you had spoken. I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication because he came to me with this issue, and I said to him, if there's any business that wants to attend and showcase themselves and collect information directly from, like, if you want to learn more about my business, if you like what I'm talking about, if you like what I'm bringing here and showing you, feel free to collect their information. I think that he might have been under the impression that we were going to just provide businesses with a blast of everyone we contacted, which we're not amenable to because we don't want to make people be contacted if they don't want to be.
Yeah.
But if you want to attend, and I don't know if this bridges the gap in some of what we're talking about, if any business wants to attend and say, hey, if you want to learn more about me, I can sign you up on my newsletter or whatever it might be, absolutely fine.
Yeah,
just as
You're
a
a resident,
clar-
just go. We'll talk afterwards. We'll talk afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, anybody else? Please, no other, you can't talk
This is
again.
a good one.
You can't though, I'm sorry. I know, I feel really
I'll
rude.
talk to you later
Yeah.
about it. This is something that's good, something will be in Roselle Park,
Good.
something Roselle Park has missed for
Good.
many years.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody else? Okay, good. Thank you. All right, I'm seeing nobody else. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, everybody in the office, we do have, in the office, what I keep saying, that everybody here, we do have one closed session item, so we're gonna need to kick everybody out. But for those who I said I will talk to you afterwards, I will come chase you. Just hang out in the hallway. I'll be there in a minute.
Read the closed session.
Yeah, please read the closed session resolution.
Closed session resolution reads as follows, whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park wish to discuss matters which are described by the New Jersey Open
yeah.
Public Meetings Act,
Right,
NJSA
well,
10:4-12, and whereas the
Read.
general nature of the subjects to be discussed in
Remember the
closed
closed
session
sessions?
are ongoing litigation, Delasio Dick versus the Borough of Roselle Park, and whereas the time when and the circumstances under which the items discussed in closed session will be disclosed to the public at a future time, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park, County of Union, State of New Jersey, do now adjourn the open portion of the meeting and open a closed portion of the meeting to discuss the aforementioned item. Need a motion to go into closed session and adopt the resolution.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to go back into regular or public session?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Mayor, in closed session, the matter discussed was Delasio Dick versus the Borough of Roselle Park. No action is being taken and the issue is not resolved.
Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Great night.